विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज, विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज।
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Purvasha Banerjee and Shushanto Das.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज आपकी आवाज, विज्ञान की आवाज, की आवाज, की आवाज।
In this episode of the podcast series, we are extremely honored to have Professor Abhijit Chaterjee with us. He will now be introducing himself and will be sharing his academic journey respectively.
I am Professor Abhijit Chaterjee. I'm working in the Department of Chemical Science of Bose Institute. So my background was chemistry in my graduation and post-graduation. After chemistry, I did my PhD from University of Calcutta, and my topic was mainly on the atmospheric chemistry. And then after the PhD, I went to ISRO, Indian Space Research Organizations, for my postdoc, and then joined Bose Institute as a faculty fellow in the year of 2010. And right after that, I started working. It was a kind of a part of my postdoc research with MIT in USA on some greenhouse gases over eastern part of Himalaya. And then I'm just now working as the field of my research is the air pollution, climate change, and associated health risk, human health.
Professor Chatterjee now gives a brief introduction to the area of his research work.
Today, I'm just going to talk about mainly the air pollutions, which is one of the major concern in our country, if not in the world. So, what are the major air pollutants that are the major concerns right now at the current scenario in our country? And what are the sources, what are the policies to be taken, and how we address different fundamental, basic, as well as some issues which are directly associated with the society that bears some huge implications, societal implications, and how we address several fundamental issues, as well as how we make the policies for curbing or mitigating air pollutions. So I will be going to talk about on all these aspects. Yeah.
It needs no big explanation that our country and many more are currently suffering from air pollution. Professor Abhijit Chatterjee now explains his studies on this area of research in details.
As we all know that, as I said, that air pollution is one of the major concerns in our country. And if we talk about the air pollutions, there are two types of air pollutants. One is gaseous, as we know about oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, ozone, oxides of carbon like carbon monoxide. But the other one is the particulate matter, that is in the form of the solid, tiny solid particles which are suspended in the atmosphere. Okay, so these are called the particulate matter, and we all are familiar with the names which are very familiar and popular. It's called the PM 2.5 or PM 10. Okay, so that PM 10 or the PM stands for particulate matter, and the numbers like 2.5 and 10, that nothing but their diameter in micrometer. Okay, so While these gaseous air pollutants, for example, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, ozone, they have a single source or one or more than one, maybe two or three sources. But these particulate matter, these are commonly called aerosols. So these aerosols have multiple sources, be it the vehicular emissions or the other fossil fuel burning, industrial emissions, biomass burning, trash burning, dust particle, and several other natural sources like volcanic eruptions, dust emissions, road dust, everything. So these particulate matter are quite more dangerous than the gaseous pollutants, because they are so small in size, so they can directly penetrate into the lungs, human lungs, and they can damage our health and causes several cardiovascular disease and several other disease. Even some of the chemical components of these aerosols or the particulate matter are carcinogenic in nature. Okay. So what we do is over different types of ecosystems, maybe in the high altitude atmosphere or ecosystem in Himalaya, or maybe some tropical urban metropolitan atmosphere or semi-rural or semi-urban atmosphere, coastal atmosphere, or maybe some ecologically important region like Sundarban mangrove ecosystems. So we explore different types of ecosystems and we explore what are the air quality over there and what are the major sources of those air pollutants for the respective ecosystem, how they damage health, not only the human health but also the entire ecosystem, health of the ecosystem. What are the major sources and what are the possible remedies, what are the possible mitigations policies, how to frame the policies, how to build the strategies in order to curb the air pollutions. So that's our team, my lab, and I'm working on this. Mainly I started focusing on the eastern part of Himalaya because we have a very good campuses in Darjeeling where we address the air quality, air pollutions and overall air quality and the greenhouse gases emissions, climate change parameters over these unique geographical locations, because before Bose Institute, no other institute in the world have addressed the eastern Himalayan air quality. We also address several tropical urban atmosphere like Kolkata and semi-urban atmosphere. Some are the coastal atmosphere near the Bay of Bengal, at the northeast coast of Bay of Bengal. Some are the arid or semi-arid dry regions. So over different types of atmosphere, over different types of ecosystem, how the air pollutants are getting generated, what are the major sources, and what are the possible strategies that could be built up to mitigate the air pollutions. In addition, other than these societal implicative, research studies, we also address some fundamental questions, scientific questions about the structure, morphology, chemical compositions, physical characteristics, radiation absorbing potential of each of the component of the air pollutants that we are trying to address.
Professor Chatterjee now speaks on his national and international collaborators.
We actually work with several national institutes in India, for example, National Physical Laboratory in Delhi, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology in Pune, and several IITs, mainly the IIT Delhi, IIT Chennai, IIT Bombay, and IISER Kolkata. So there are several projects that are going on right now in Bose Institute in this particular field, where multi-institutional national network type of project is going on. Okay, so several institutes are involved. They have the different scientific questions to be addressed for different ecosystems, but overall, on the national perspective, we are trying to mitigate the air pollutions over different polluted atmosphere in India, collaborating with several national institutes. In addition, I have the collaborator in US, mainly the Wisconsin-Madison University and the Global Climate Change Divisions of MIT in USA.
To proceed with the observations and experimentations, this area of research is a long-term project. Professor Chaterjee now speaks on the way forward.
Addressing air pollutions is not a short-term project, it's a long-term goal, it's a long way to go. So in the year of 2019, keeping in view of taking the entire national scenario of air pollutions into account, Government of India, mainly the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, shortly MOEFCC, they launched a national mission. It's called the National Clean Air Program, and in Hindi is Swachh Vayu Abhiyan. So what they did, they identified, rather the apex committee is the Central Pollution Control Board. They identified around 131 major polluted cities in India. So there are 6 such polluted cities in the state of West Bengal, and Kolkata is one of them. The other cities are like Kolkata, Howrah, Barakpur, Durgapur, Asansol and Haldia. These are the 6 major polluted cities that have been identified for the state of West Bengal. Now, what MOEFCC has done, they have chosen one nodal scientific institute for each of the state to address and to work with the respective pollution control board. For example, West Bengal Pollution Control Board for the state of West Bengal, and several urban local bodies like Kolkata Municipal Corporation for Kolkata, Howrah Municipal Corporations for Howrah, or Barakpur Municipality for Barakpur. These municipal corporations or municipalities, they are the urban local bodies, government bodies. Those work on ground for the mitigations of air pollutions. So what we do, Bose Institute is one of the nodal institutes under this National Clean Air Program, and I am working as the nodal faculty for the state of West Bengal. So what we do, we just on a regular basis, we sit with the West Bengal Pollution Control Board and several other municipal corporations and municipalities, and we try to find out the hotspots, the major emission sources for a particular city, and we try to frame the policies and build the strategies accordingly, and how the municipalities and municipal corporations will work on the ground, what are the sources needs to be mitigated, how to do that. We prepare, Bose Institute prepares and helps preparing the action plans that are to be implemented on ground by these governmental bodies. After the implementations, West Bengal has achieved some successful, goals. For example, it has been found that after the implementation of this National Clean Air Program, 25 to 30% of aerosol pollutions, mainly the air pollutions, overall air pollutions or air quality, has been addressed, and it has been, air pollution has been reduced with respect to 2019 at the current scenario. But there is a long way to go. There are several challenges that that need to be overcome, because the main challenges are, or the main objective is, to generate a huge amount of database. Unless we generate a huge amount of database, for example, how many people in Kolkata itself, even though it is a metropolitan city, there are several people, those who are not using LPG or using the conventional firewood burning or fuel wood burning for their domestic heating or domestic cooking purposes. So we have to generate a lot of database first, and then we have to act accordingly. We have to frame the policies. We have to build the strategies. Unless we get the generate a good database for a particular city or for a particular place. So West Bengal has achieved a goal. The target that was set by the government was 40% reductions of air pollutions, overall air quality or air pollutions, with respect to 2019. That is to be achieved in the year of 2026. By now, at the end of 2024, it has been observed that we have achieved around 25 to 30% of air pollution reductions, and that is a huge success that I can see, and I can see a good future for that.
We are extremely thankful to Professor Abhijit Chaterjee for sharing these informations about the success of this research. And also, we thank him once again for sharing his valuable time.